Hey everybody, AC here, and welcome to something special, something different that I'm doing. I decided to start what could be a new series on my channel where I talk about uh, a certain character. Maybe I should put my hat on. The light's kind of messing the shot up a bit. Yeah, this is fine. This will do. Um, so this will most likely be the start of a new series where I talk about a character from a series that I really enjoy. Usually this will be like my favorite character from that series. If I feel like I have a lot to say about this character and why I enjoy them and what I think is really interesting about them, I'll make a video like this where I just kind of talk about them. And I got the idea to do this thanks to one specific character from one specific series. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, more specifically, Ilulu. She got introduced in the 4th volume of the main series. And with the release of Season 2 coming out later this year, supposedly sometime in the summer, of course that could be pushed back to the fall, I'm going to talk a bit about Ilulu. I'm going to talk a bit about her, about what I like about her, why she is my favorite character, and why what they do with her in the anime. So Ilulu, now keep in mind, folks, before I actually go into this, keep in mind there will be spoilers. There will be spoilers for the Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid manga, for the Kanna's Daily Life manga, and for the Elma's Office Lady Diaries manga. There will be spoilers for all of that. And because of that, there will most likely be a lot of Season 2 spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled about the best written character in the series, leave now. If you don't want spoilers, leave now. This is your chance. We'll give you a few seconds. Okay, so if you haven't left yet, you've agreed to let me spoil things for you. So, Ilulu was introduced in the 4th volume of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. She is a chaotic dragon that appears and attempts to destroy the town that Miss Kobayashi calls home. She is stopped by means of Toru and Elma working together to bring her down. It takes both of them working together to stop Ilulu. That should tell you how powerful she is, considering how Ilulu is considered one of the most powerful chaotic dragons in existence. And it took both her and Elma to take Ilulu down. Ooh. Clear American water bottles, delicious. So, after taking her down, Ilulu goes into a bit of starts causing mischief for the rest of the team, and starts causing mischief for the rest of the team, and starts trying to turn characters against one another. She tries uh, to turn Fafnir and Kanna and Kobayashi's coworker uh, against her, and none of them seem to be fazed by it. None of them are getting fazed by it. One by one, they all one by one they all um one by one they all just ignore Ilulu, because after her defeat at the hands of Elma and Toru, it's taking a while for her to get back up to full strength. Ilulu is not at full strength. She is severely weakened. And so she cannot, not only can she not go home, but she can't like destroy the city. And so she's just trying to be manipulative and get people to turn on each other. It doesn't work. And eventually, another chaotic dragon appears and starts to bully Ilulu. Miss Kobayashi shows up and defends Ilulu and shows her that even though she did bad things, she can make up for them. She can change. And we find out the reason why Ilulu is like this, the reason why she is so destructive and she hates humans so much, is because her parents, both of her parents, were murdered by humans. They were murdered by humans, and her grandfather took her in and raised her and taught her to hate humans and trained her. She was not allowed to have a childhood. She was not allowed to be a child to have fun with other children. She was raised and trained to be a weapon against the humans. That was the entire point of her existence. She was never given a choice as to what she wanted. She was told that she has to be a weapon. She was not given any other alternative. And so here is Miss Kobayashi giving Ilulu the opportunity to choose something different. After being given that kind of opportunity and being shown that kind of kindness for someone that she tried to hurt, Ilulu changed. She became docile. And she decided to stick around and just see what happens. She decided to just stick around and see what it means to live amongst humans. That was the fourth volume, and the entirety of the fourth volume was pretty much all about her. Only a couple chapters in the fourth volume weren't about Ilulu. The majority of the fourth volume was her story. And since then, we have gotten a chapter about Ilulu to expand on her character in every volume that has come out since then. Well, almost every volume. We'll get to that in a minute. In the fifth volume, in chapter 45, Saikawa, Kanna's friend, meets Ilulu for the first time on the toilet, of all places. Ilulu, who never actually had friends, wanted to play with Kanna and Saikawa, but she felt guilty. She felt guilty because of how much trouble she caused in the previous volume. She felt incredibly guilty. She felt like she didn't deserve to spend time with anyone. but Kanna and Saikawa welcomed her with open arms and let her play with them. And so she got to experience what it was like to be a kid. And that began to open her heart towards letting others in, letting others in and finding joy in spending time with others. Then in volume 6, in chapters 51 and 52, Ilulu ends up getting a job. She has spent way too long uh, she has spent way too long in Kobayashi's house not doing anything, and so she winds up getting a job, um, working for a lady named Ada. Yes, that's a lady. Um, and while working there, she ends up meeting a character who will become most likely the most important person in her life. This is Take. Take is the grandson of Ada, the one who owns the shop that Ilulu begins to work at. It's a candy shop that a lot of kids go to. And and Ilulu meets Take, and he shows her the ropes. He shows her how to run the place. And Ilulu hasn't really learned modesty yet. She hasn't learned modesty yet. So he comes in uh, with a uniform for her to put on, and she begins to strip immediately without heading to the back or anything. She just starts taking her clothes off, because she doesn't understand how modesty or shyness works. Um, and so Take tells her to go into the back. She changes. Um, she she calls him a perv, but then immediately follows up by asking if he wants to see. And he declines. But then later, when a child comes in to buy some candy, and uh, she ends up asking some personal questions to Ilulu, and Take, thinking that Ilulu is giving too much information, uh, tries to rush in to stop her, but ends up tripping and falls directly in her bosom. She is unbothered by this, and is in fact completely okay with it. Um, and that's when she meets Taki. Then there's Volume 7, Chapter 63. Ilulu finds a doll that somebody had accidentally left behind. So her and Take go on a mission to try and find out who the doll belongs to. Ilulu manages to find out where it Ilulu manages to find out where it goes. She stays out late at night. When Taki said, "Let's try again tomorrow," Ilulu refuses to stop looking. She continues to look, and she winds up getting caught in the rain. She winds up getting caught in the rain. Um, Take shows up and says that he knew she wouldn't stop. He knew she wouldn't stop looking, despite him telling her to. He gives her a little. He gives her a little head pat, and for the first time, uh, for the first time, Ilulu's heart skips a beat. She's starting to feel some. She's starting to feel something. She's starting to. She's starting to feel something for Take. And at the end, when Take takes her home, they're both soaked, and Ilulu has no hesitation in telling Take that they should both get naked and get in the bath together. Uh, she is 100% okay with Take seeing her nude. Um, and again, still doesn't quite understand how modesty works, but it is made very clear by the end of that chapter she enjoys spending time with him, and she wants to spend time with him. Volume 8 Volume 8 we have Volume 8. This is a much smaller example of character growth, but it is still rather significant and ties back to something that happened in Volume 4. When Kanna's father comes to take her back, um, uh, his assistant, her father's assistant, winds up fighting against Ilulu. This guy. Him and Ilulu wind up fighting. And he quite easily takes her down. Now, keep in mind, this is the same Ilulu that was so powerful it took both Toru and Elma working together to bring her down. And she's bodied by this one dude. This dude is a human sorcerer. A human sorcerer / sword expert. And it's revealed that he played a part in the deaths of Ilulu's parents. We aren't given a definitive answer as to whether or not he's the one who ultimately killed them. We do know that several humans were involved in their deaths, but we do know he was one that was involved. He was one that was involved, and he took great pleasure in helping to kill them. But thankfully, Ilulu was able to get away. She had some scratches and bruises on her. but thankfully she was able to get away. And she picked a fight with him because of Kanna, because he wanted to hurt Kanna and she wanted to protect her. This is significant for Ilulu's character because back in Volume 4, she tried to get Kanna to turn several times against Kobayashi and Toru and Saikawa and Fafnir and Lukoa and all of them. Kanna, she tried to corrupt Kanna several times throughout the fourth volume, and it never worked. So now, here we are in the eighth volume, and she's doing everything she can to defend Kanna. Even going so far as to risk her life to defend her. Then, Volume 9, the last volume that has released as of yet. Chapter 81, Ilulu goes into heat. Ilulu goes into heat. She's in her mating she's in her mating season, and so she is trying to. She basically just wants to mate with someone. She tries to mate. She tries to mate with Kobayashi at first. Toru stops her, and at this point in the story, Toru has gotten a lot stronger. Toru has gotten a lot stronger. And so she's able to go toe to toe with Ilulu. She's able to go toe to toe with Ilulu, without the need for Elma's support anymore. So Toru takes Ilulu to an open field where the two of them can fight. And Ilulu can just kind of blow off some steam and fight through the whole mating process. It's to help her expend all of her energy so that she can calm down and won't be in heat anymore. And doesn't quite go as planned. She can hold her own against Ilulu for a while, but Ilulu still beats her. So Ilulu is still stronger than Toru. And after everything is said and done, and it looks like Ilulu has calmed down, she goes into work. And Take gives her a little head pat. She begins to feel her body getting warmer and again. And she feels like, uh-oh, maybe my mating season isn't over. Maybe I still want to mate. But then she realizes that it's different from before. She can actually resist her urges. She can resist her urges, yet she still feels the same warm feeling when she looks at Take. And she begins to wonder, what is this? What am I feeling? And so she is starting to become aware of her feelings for Take. She isn't fully aware as of yet at that point that she is in love with him, but she knows she feels something for him. She knows that she feels something when she looks at him. And that's the main series. Then we move on to Kanna's daily life. And once again, we get a chapter that has a lot of focus on Ilulu. In the chapter "Time for Valentines," uh, Kanna is trying to make chocolates for everybody, and is trying to make chocolates for everybody, and Ilulu, after finding out what Valentine's Day is all about and how you give chocolates to someone who means a lot to you. Um, at first, she joked that she would give chocolates to Kobayashi, just to irritate Toru. But then she began to think maybe I should make some for Taki. Once again, we see Taki is on her mind. Then we don't get any chapters about Ilulu in volumes 2 or 3 of Kanna's daily life. But then in volume 4 of Kanna's daily life, we have a chapter where we have a chapter where um, Toru, Ilulu, Kanna, and Saikawa all go to the mall to try on different outfits. Um, and Ilulu tries on the boys' uniform, the boys' high school uniform. Well, no, the boys' middle. No, it's the middle school. It's the boys' middle school uniform, and then she tries on the girls' middle school uniform, which we unfortunately don't get a very good look of. We don't get a very good look of it, but that's okay. Um, so after trying on both school uniforms for boys and girls, for the middle school uniforms, she starts to ask Kanna about if school is fun. If Kanna thinks school is fun, and Kanna replies, "Yes, it's really fun." Um, and Ilulu begins to think if I went to school, I'd get to spend more time with Taki. Then here in volume 5 of Kanna's daily life, um, during the chapter "Time for Christmas," um, Kanna uh, Kanna is going around giving Christmas cookies to uh, all of her friends, and she gives one to Ilulu as well. She gives one to Ilulu as well. And what's the first thing Ilulu does? She asks Kanna, "Can you give me just one more?" Kanna says, "Oh, okay. You're real greedy. You're real greedy, Ilulu." And Ilulu says, "Yeah, I guess I am." After Kanna and Saikawa leaves, Ilulu just says to herself, "I wonder when Taki is gonna get here," while holding one of the packages of cookies. She's letting Kanna think that she's a glutton and that she plans on eating all the cookies when she plans on sharing them with Taki. She's letting others think poorly of her, even though she has nothing but pure intentions with it. And it's around this time, it's around the 5th volume of Kanna's daily life that we see Ilulu finally starts to have a grasp on modesty. She has a grasp and an understanding of what is considerate, what is modest, and what is and isn't okay around the workplace. So she's not like offering to strip in front of Taki, or offering to let people touch her boobs. Like, she's not doing stuff like that anymore. She is being modest. She's now being modest. And then we don't get a chapter in volume 6 um about Ilulu. But then in Elma's Office Lady Diary, we do get a chapter, a festival of food, when the group goes to a when the group goes to a summer festival, and Ilulu is proving to be incredibly popular. Several kids who come to the um several kids who come to the candy store to buy candy, they end up asking her to play festival games with them. And so she does. She starts bonding with a lot of the other kids. She starts bonding with a lot of the other kids, and starts having a good time with them. And uh and she starts to think that kids are really fun. Kids are really sweet and nice. So you can kind of tell in that chapter that she's starting to develop a bit of a maternal instinct. We got three more instances to show. In volume 2 of Elma's Office Lady Diary, the chapter titled "Helping Ilulu," Elma ends up helping Ilulu run the candy store. And the moment Take shows up, Ilulu just leaps to him and just gives him the biggest hug and the biggest smile, just so happy to see him. And Elma even thinks to herself about how close they seem to have gotten, and how Lulu seems a lot happier now that Taki is around. And and then later in that very same chapter, there ends up being a little fight between some kids, and uh, in order to break up the fight, Ilulu brings out a little board game and offers to play a game with all of them, to get them to stop fighting. And both Take and Elma are surprised at how just not only kind and nurturing she has become, but also how she has become something of a big sister to all these children. She is her maternal instincts are definitely maturing. Um, and then finally, in the third volume of Elma's Office Lady Diary, uh, Ilulu and Kanna become obsessed with YouTube. Yeah, that's pretty much the concept. In the chapter titled "Fun with Videos," um, Ilulu and Kanna become obsessed with YouTube videos, and they talk to Elma about it and tell her about how much fun it is to watch YouTube videos and watch YouTube. Um, by the way, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to just subscribe and hit that notification bell. It would mean a lot. Um, uh, and Elma suggests, hey, why don't we make a video? Why don't the three of us make a video together? It'll be fun. And uh, Ilulu and Kanna seem so happy about the idea. Um, so they do some research, figure out what kind of videos get a lot of views, and Elma does a lot of research, so she knows how to edit videos. Um, and and Elma is like, "What? Now we just need to decide what kind of video we should make. I want to try lots of foods, of course, because of course it's Elma, the glutton." Kanna says that she just wants to do something really fun, and Ilulu Ilulu says she wants to make a video about the candy store, and that it will make Granny and Take really happy if more kids come to the candy store. She wants to make a video on that so that Taki will praise her. They decide to go for Ilulu's idea because it is just so wholesome and sweet. Um, and then our last example, the chapter entitled "The Shaved Ice Stand." Not many people are coming to the candy store. Um, because it's in the middle of summer. It's in the middle of the summertime. It's super hot. Kids aren't wanting to go to a candy store. They want something cold. They want something cold and refreshing. And so um, so Elma decides, hey, why doesn't the candy store start selling shaved ice? It would bring in more customers, and you can have a bunch of different flavors for it too. So they do. They make some shaved ice. They make some shaved ice, and they make some different flavors. One kind, and they try to satisfy her and give her what she wants, but she never seems satisfied. She's very picky. Um, and then Taki shows up asking if everything's okay, and Lula's like, "Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. We're just having a bit of trouble with the customer. It's okay. We got this." But then the girl throws herself on Take and says that the employees were being incredibly rude to her. getting very close, very up close and personal with Take, much to the disapproval of Ilulu. She is shown to be incredibly jealous, and Take helps her. It helps her and Elma to make new shaved ice flavors. Um, and it winds up being a huge hit among all the customers, including the one who was having complaints before. And Lulu is so happy about this. She even comments to Take that says, uh, and tells him, "You're kind of weird and a bit of a perv, but you're really cool." This comment, this comment confuses Take. He's not sure whether to be angry at the two insults that preceded the compliment, or be embarrassed at how she thinks he's cool. Um, and yeah, so far that is what that is what we have gotten from Ilulu. We have seen her go from such an evil such an evil person that would try to destroy towns and kill innocents, to someone who will protect the people who took her in, and will do everything in her power. Will do everything in her power to help help the candy store that gave her a job. And she will spend as much time with Take as she could possibly get. And I think by the time that last example with the shaved ice, I feel like by that point in her story, she has come to realize how she feels about Taki. Because she knows that she has strong feelings for him. She knows that she feels something for him. And by the time she sees that girl getting all up close and personal with him and flirting with him, she's jealous because some other girl is flirting with Taki. I feel like at that point she knows how she feels now. She knows that she has a crush on him. She has developed so much as a character. She developed so much more than any other character in the series. Toru, for as cool as a character as Toru is, she doesn't really change. From chapter 1 to now, she's still the same person. She doesn't have much character development outside of the way she treats Elma, where her and Elma just absolutely hated each other before. They now get along and think of each other as best friends. Um, but that's the most character development we've gotten for Toru. For Kanna, uh, again, she hasn't really changed. She's still the same Kanna we know and love, from the first time you get introduced to her to now. She's still the same character. Lukoa, Lukoa, we're starting to get a bit more about Lukoa. We're starting to get a bit more information on Lukoa. They've been hinting at something going on with her for the last couple volumes. And so I believe we're going to be entering into an arc very soon about Lukoa. So Lukoa is going to get a lot of character development here very soon. But as of right now, she hasn't gotten much of any as of yet. And Kobayashi has slowly but surely begun to warm up to Toru, and you can definitely tell she is starting to become more and more okay with the idea of staying of Toru being with her forever, and wanting to stay with Toru as well. So I I believe that uh, among all the characters, Ilulu is the one that has had the best and most amount of character development. Um, and it's interesting because unlike all the other characters, Lukoa usually gets like 2 chapters per book, Kanna 2 chapters, and Toru and Miss Kobayashi the rest. Um, well, Elma will get a chapter or two, but they all get focus. They all get more focus than Ilulu. Ilulu gets less focus than any of those others. Like Elma has her own series now. Elma has her own series. Kanna has her own series, and the main series is all about Miss Kobayashi and Toru. And Lukoa is going to be getting her own series very soon as well. Later this year, the first volume of Lukoa is My Girlfriend is going to be released. And we're going to get a series about Lukoa. We have a series about Lukoa, a series about Toru and Kobayashi, a series about Elma, a series about Kanna. The only character who's missing a series of their own is Ilulu. That's it. That's the only one missing a series of her own. And she deserves it more than any of these other girls, if I'm being honest. I love Kanna, and Elma's funny. Lukoa's funny. I like these other characters, but Ilulu is the best character among the cast. Like she just is, hands down. There is no contest, and she doesn't have her own series. She just has let's see, 18. She has 18 chapters all between all of the volumes in which she is a part of, between all of these, and even some others. 3 volumes of Kanna's daily life that she doesn't get a focus in, despite the fact that Volume 3 has her on the cover. Volume 3 has Ilulu on the cover, and yet she never gets a focus in that volume. All these volumes. Yeah, 15. 15 volumes between the different series. 15. And among those 15 volumes, Ilulu gets 18 chapters. That's actually about her. She gets 18 chapters that are about her, and yet those 18 chapters give her more character development than any other character in the series. You know what you know what? There's only 9 chapters per book. 2 volumes. You could fit the entirety of her story arc that we've seen thus far in just 2 volumes. Just 2 volumes. That's all it takes. 2 volumes to fit her entire story. Everything we've seen of her thus far. She deserves her own spin-off series. I truly do believe this. And I cannot wait to see her in the second season of Dragon Maid. I am very much looking forward to. I am very much looking forward to seeing the second season, and I can't wait to see what kind of splash Ilulu is going to make. She's the best character in the series by far, and I look forward to seeing her in action. So there you have it. Ilulu, best character in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This didn't go exactly as I anticipated it would, and it went on for a lot longer than I thought it would. Jeez, 51 minutes, yikes. But yeah, so I really like her character. What do you guys think? Have you read that far into the manga yet? Do you look forward to seeing a Lulu in the anime? Please let me know in the comment box below. Who's your favorite character in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and why? Why are they your favorite character? I'd love to hear your opinions. So with that said, if there's another series that you guys want me to talk about, please let me know in the comment box below. I'll talk about my favorite character from any series. I wanted to see how this will go. I want to see how this is going to be received by all of you. So if you like this, please leave a like. Let me know that you actually like this. Let me know that you actually like this so that I can continue to make this. If I don't know that you guys like this, then I might not make more of this. But I did want to talk about this character because this is a character that I just don't see a lot of people talking about. But yeah. So let me know if there's a series you want me to cover. If there's a series that you want me to talk about, I'll look into it and see which one who's my favorite character in that series, and I'll talk about them and why they're my favorite character. But yeah, so I guess that's gonna do it for this video. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.